Hi everybody, it's me and Remy. Remy's a little sick today. I need to give you guys an update on our life this last month, or else the next few videos won't really make sense. So I posted the last one on March 29th. That was a Saturday. That was our first one back in a very long time. And I talked about how we had a girl, Brinlee, working for us. And she wasn't in that video. Her sister, Avery, had been filling in the day that we did the filming, and so she wasn't there. And so on the 31st, I texted Brinlee and I asked her if she wanted to meet us at the park. And so she met us there, and we were going to do some more pictures. It's okay. And so we met that Monday there to just, have a fun day together. Looking back, I was so grateful that I got that video time with her and the kids, and just just a wonderful day, enjoying the outside and being together. I saw her again on Tuesday, and she was there at the house. The kids and I had piano. Kinsey has piano on Tuesday, so she watched the babies while I left, and she gives the baby a bath usually on Tuesdays. And I picked her up a Dr. Pepper that day, which she was a big Dr. Pepper fan. And the day just ended like it always does, and I said goodbye to her when she left and told her, don't forget your Dr. Pepper. And I didn't realize that was going to be the last time that I ever saw Brinlee. And so Wednesday we had a big appointment with Remy's normal physician. She didn't go with us that day because Greg wanted to go, so Greg went with us instead. And then on Thursday, I got a call from her mom really early that morning saying that she'd been in a car accident. And at that point, she didn't know for sure, but she was pretty sure that Brinlee had passed. And so she called me because we're really good friends, and I ended up going and picking up one of her daughters from college and took her to meet them at the hospital. And it was a really long day. We never got to see Brinlee, but we found out that she had passed at the scene in, just a bad accident with a lot of rain, and they had hydroplaned. It's been a really difficult month since then. I've been with the family a lot. We are very close friends with them, and it wasn't really until maybe that first night or the second night that I realized what a significant loss it was going to be for Remy. Before that I was just thinking about the family and thinking about myself and my relationship with Brinlee. And I hadn't got to share that really here with you guys, but she had always been in our family life, and had only started helping Remy last June. So since June, she'd been a part of our life every 4 days a week since then. So we had grown really close in the last year. And she was obviously, I think I said in the last video that she was just the best thing that had happened for Remy this last year. She worked with her all the time. She loved Rem. She loved spending time with her. She was really proud of the work that she had done with Remy. And so since then, it took a while, but we eventually were able to do her funeral. We also had to go to another funeral that same week. This was last week that we went to the funerals. It was definitely one of the most beautiful funerals that I've ever been to. She was just a really wonderful girl, and I know that she just touched, probably 1,000 lives or more. I don't really know, but there was a lot of people at the funeral. She was supposed to graduate from high school in a couple months. So her parents, did a big graduation for her at the funeral, and I was just really proud of them for doing what she would have wanted. She was a big, bright, bubbly personality, probably one of the funniest people we ever knew. And I was just so proud of them for doing what she would have wanted. It's weird, it's not just the hurt of losing someone or the trauma of losing them so quickly. It was also that she did so much for us, and I really started leaning on her a lot, even though she was only 18 years old. She was responsible, and like I said, she loved Rem so much, and even when she wasn't working, she would drop by to see her, and or want to go with us different places. And we had some big summer plans. We were gonna do a lot of swim days together with Remy in the water, and she was supposed to go on a trip with us, maybe 2 trips with us this summer, help with Remy. Greg and I were supposed to go on a trip in May for his work, and it would have been, I've been away from Remy 2 nights since she's been born, but that would have been we would have been away 5 nights from both the babies. I've never been away from Beck, and so we had some other friends that were going to help us with the babies, with Remy, but she was really going to be a big help because she's with us every day and she knows Rem, and like I said, I just really had learned to depend on her because she was the only person that really knew what Remy's day-to-day life looked like, besides me and Greg. And it's just always been me and Greg taking care of her. And, it was such a comfort to have her and know that if something, just even a normal just hang up, something happened with the 2 of us, that we could ask her to come over and she would have been there, and she would have been capable of taking care of Remy, even just feeding Remy, which most people don't know how to run the feed pump. And so that's been this last month, is just trying to figure out not just the grief, but how to rebuild some of our life that when she passed, I just didn't realize she had taken over so much. And so I've been trying to figure out how to, take back some of Remy's care that she'd been doing and make sure that Remy didn't lose too much, which I know she has, but, just as a mom, try to fill in those gaps for her while struggling with my best friend losing her daughter. And so that's been my update for this month. After the funeral, how this just happens. It's like anything that could happen does happen. And after the funeral, all of us got sick. We got a really bad stomach bug this last weekend. And so we were all very sick. Of course, when you have a stomach bug, no one can help you out. You just gotta power through it. So all the kids were sick. Greg and I were both sick, and we have since recovered, except Remy, and she's still not been able to keep food down. So it's been I'm tired. It's probably been about 6 days since we've been able to give Remy a full feed. Of course, I'm texting her doctors and talk to them on the phone and trying to just make sure we can get her through this, but it always just hits her hard, and it takes her several days to recover. I'm, just praying and hoping that she'll get better. And now it's kind of progressed into a lot of drainage, so I'm hoping that we don't end up getting pneumonia from this, or that she might aspirate from throwing up so often. So that's kind of where we're at now, is that she's been pretty sick. All right, so we'll cut that part where Remy just threw up on me, and mostly on herself. So that's where we are now. Just trying to figure out a new normal for us and a new normal for Remy. And obviously, I just give a lot of credit to Brinlee's parents and her family and what a wonderful job she did. And I think that that's what makes us know how important people are, that, when we lose them, it's one of the reasons that when we lose them, it makes such a big hole in our hearts and our lives. And, I think it's just a credit to what a wonderful person she was and a wonderful person that they had raised. trust in God that she lived the life that she was meant to live, and that these things happen, and that God will be with us to comfort us during the way. You know, I am grateful for everything I've gone through with Remy and Nora, that in some ways it feels not great, that maybe I'm just becoming numb to it, but also that I'm learning what life is, you know, and that it is really precious, and that we need to be grateful for each moment that we have. And again, for the most part, we are doing okay. I'm pushing forward, but I just wanted to update you guys on what had happened. And the next video that I will put out is just going to be a video about Brinlee and Remy and all the footage that I hadn't put together yet, and all the time that they had spent together. And she was so special to us, and so I want you to be able to see that. You'll probably see some funny stuff because, like I said, Brinlee was so funny, and we have found a treasure trove of videos that she had made with the babies that I didn't even know existed because it was on her phone. But I've been so grateful to get to have those since then. So I'll share those next. If nothing else, it's just for me to remember the two of them together and to remember what a special relationship they had. So thanks for keeping up. Thanks for keeping up, and thanks for keeping us in your prayers. And I will update you guys on, hopefully Remy will be feeling better in the next few days, but I'll keep you guys updated on that too. Okay. You ready?